Hi everyone and welcome to Defi Daily, the channel where every day we talk about DeFi, going through different analysis, tutorials and news. Today we're going to talk about another platform into the DeFi ecosystem of Terra, and more specifically about MIR protocol. I will divide this video in two different parts. The first part, that is the one that we will go through right now, is about the overview of the project, about the total value locked, about the price, and about what makes special a MIR protocol. On the other side, I will publish also another video with a complete tutorial where I will guide you from the start for the first step to the end on how to use this kind of service. Before to start, I would like to ask you to sustain the channel, to subscribe. It's really easy. All you have to do is just press the subscribe button. And if you want to also receive a notification on your device, just press the ring bell button. And please leave me also a thumbs up to help you spread the word and reach more people. A quick disclaimer, always remember that all the contents in this channel are just for educational purposes and nothing has to be intended as a financial advice. If you want to invest in anything, that could be great, but please do always your own research first. Okay, we can start, and I would like to start with the homepage of the MIR Finance platform. MIR assets reflected on the blockchain. What makes really special MIR is that this is a service, this is a platform that takes assets from the real world and is taking them into the blockchain. It's like the more popular synthetics, just to give you an idea on what kind of service is MIR. And it is taking stocks like, for example, Tesla or whatever, and it's taking them into the blockchain. And in a moment we will find out also why doing this and having this kind of asset into a blockchain is something that can really make the difference and could allow us to make much more into the DeFi than just having the real stock as we were used until now. If we go down, here it is written how it works, and as you can find it here, you can mint almost any MIR asset. All the MIR assets are called M asset, and instead of asset, obviously there will be the name of the asset. But be aware that not every token that you can find on all the DEXs is an MIR asset. For example, as we have seen in the MIR Finance platform, also an MSOL is a token that you can find on a DEXs, and you can have the possibility to swap it. But in this case, the MSOL, it has nothing to do with a MIR asset. If you want to know more about MSOL and how to stake SOL, I will leave you also the link in the right corner here, where you can find a complete overview of MIR Finance. That is absolutely the best project about it. A MIR asset is something that you can issue with a collateral of at least 150%. How does it work? It works that you can use your collateral to mint some kind of asset. The M assets that are available are decided by the governance. So in the moment when the governance whitelisted a new asset, the users will be able to mint them through the MIR protocol platform. And to do that, you will need 150% of collateral. And if you are wondering, but why should I use this kind of platform and this kind of protocol instead of just buying the normal stock in the traditional market? And that's a good question, and the main reasons are two. The first reason is that in many countries it's not so easy to have access to this kind of asset. Let's say that maybe if you live in the United States, for you it's quite easy to buy an asset, a stock of Google. But if you live in many other countries, it could be much more difficult, and in this case could happen that you don't even have the opportunity to do this. So if you want to have some exposition to an asset like, for example, Google, a stock of Google, The only way that you have is to use this kind of services, and that's why having DeFi protocols that are allowing you to receive, to having the possibility to being exposed to an asset that otherwise you will not able to access, this is something that is really powerful. Not to mention that having your asset, your stocks on a blockchain is even more powerful, because you can use them to farm, for example. As we will see on MIR Protocol, you can also farm long and farm short, and in the next video we will see exactly how does it work. Not to mention that in the near future we will also be able to use this kind of asset, for example, to ask and to borrow some more cryptos. So let's say that you wanna keep your exposition to let's say Google, but at the same time you wanna stay liquid, to have more liquidity to invest in any kind of other cryptos or to do something else on DeFi, farming or whatever. Through an M asset, you can do it. Otherwise, if you just have your stocks, there is nothing you can do with your stocks. Your stocks are outside the blockchain, and due to this factor, you can use them to empower your DeFi strategy. Keep in mind that in the moment when we are talking about M asset, we are talking about assets that are not backed by any kind of real asset. So it means that even if you own some M asset that is tied to the price of Google, even in this case, you are not receiving any dividends, because behind the M asset there is no real Google stocks or any other stocks that is available on the MIR protocol. So having this kind of M asset, it only means that you are exposed to the price of that kind of real stocks. And so, for example, if the price of Google increases, it's quite probable that also the price of your M asset will increase, and you will have the opportunity to take that kind of profit. About the price of the M asset, is really interesting to have a look on how it is possible that the M asset keep the peg, so it keeps the same price or at least a really close price to what is the real asset price. And there are different mechanisms. Specifically, there are 3 different mechanisms. The first mechanism is the minting liquidation. What does it mean? Is that in the moment when you mint an M asset, this one is minted with the price, the oracle price of the real asset. And also the liquidation will be triggered by the real price. Even if the price of the M asset in the market, into the blockchain or whatever, can change due to more selling pressure or whatever could happen. Even if the price of the M assets changes, the price that will trigger the liquidation will be always tied to the real price of the stocks. So let's say, for example, that the price of the real stock increase. It means that you are at risk of liquidation, because if you have a really high exposure and for any reason your exposure increased by more than 150% of your collateral ratio, your position will be liquidated, and this will create some buying pressure, because to liquidate your position, it means that someone else will buy your M assets, and in this case what will happen is that the price will tend to converge to the increased price of the real stocks. At the same time, there is also some arbitrage. It means that in the moment when the price differs from the real price, the price of the M asset differs from the real price, it creates an opportunity that people can say, okay, the price is differing, and I bet that the price of the 2 assets will converge at a certain point, so this could be a good opportunity to buy or sell that kind of asset to take advantage from the situation. Not to mention that also the governance can introduce some incentives to push the price in the right direction. Let's say that the price of M asset is too low, the governance can introduce some incentives to push people to buy that kind of M asset. On the other hand, if the price is too high, the governance can introduce some incentives to push people to sell, and in this way, through all of these mechanisms, the price of the M asset will converge to the price of the real asset, even if the NM asset is not connected, is not backed by any real stocks or any other real kind of asset. It's just a piece of code that has the price that is tied to a real stock. Okay, but let's have a look if MIRR, how is going MIRR, and if it is a successful platform and if it is growing or not. To understand it, we will use, as always, DeFi Llama to have a look on the total value locked inside the platform. As you can see right now, the MIRR protocol is in the third position of the rankings of Terra, and it has right now a 1.4 around billion total value locked, and it's just behind Anchor protocol that we have talked about yesterday. I will leave you also the link here if you missed it, and the Lido Finance, that is another platform that is really interesting. Let's go and have a look also to the trend of the total value locked inside the MIRR protocol, and as you can see, is quite steady. It is moving between 1.7, 2 billion, 1.4, and so on. And it has been steady for the whole period in the last 6 months. And as you can see also here, the MIRR protocol is supporting the Terra ecosystem with 1.4 billion, but also Ethereum. That's why the total value locked that you are seeing here is differing a little from what we have seen in the ranking of Terra. And the reason is because the MIRR protocol is supporting Terra, but also Ethereum. Going to the price, as you can see, the price of MIR is the token of the MIRR protocol that right now has a price of 3.02, has gone from a price of $12 in around the 10th of April to the actual price of $3. And in the last, what is interesting to notice is that since the end of May, the price of MIR hasn't changed so much. Obviously, there is no way that we can guess the price of a specific coin or token for the next couple of months or weeks. What we can say is that the price of, in this case, MIR will be related on what will happen in the whole market, because if the whole market start to grow, also the MIR token will have some benefits. But most of all, it really depends on what we will go on into the Terra DeFi ecosystem. Personally, I'm really bullish on the Terra ecosystem, and I truly believe that we can see a really high hype into this kind of ecosystem in the next couple of months. There are many other platforms that are launching on Terra, and also the Terra ecosystem has just been updated to Columbus 5, that it is opening to a lot of more opportunities to the platform that are into this ecosystem. As you can see here, the MIRR token has a maximum supply of 370 million, around this number. But this kind of maximum supply will be reached in the next 4 years. It means that in the next 4 years, we will have a continuous selling pressure. It means that there will be many people that will receive MIR as a rewards, but at the same time, the use cases for this kind of token are quite low, and that's the main reason why most of the people will try to sell to receive and to take profits from the rewards that they have just received. And that's one of the reasons why this kind of tokens, at least if there is a so high selling pressure, it's difficult for them to increase too much into price. And even, and not to mention that also the fully diluted valuation, it's not so low, because we are talking about already $1.5 billion. So we are talking about a project that has a decent capitalization with a price that is not so undervalued right now. Anyway, as I said, the main factors that will affect the price will be whole market and what will go through the Terra ecosystem. There is another thing that I would like to highlight about the MIR protocol project, and it is something that you can see here from the homepage. What I really liked from this project is that in the right corner here, they are not only giving to you the link to the web app to push you to use their services, but also they are writing the documentation. That is something that is always nice to have, but most of all there is also the link to the forum, and this is something that I haven't seen many times on many other projects. I really appreciate, because it shows us how the MIR protocol is also headed in a direction where they want to engage with the community, where the community is a real value and is the core of the whole system. And as you can see also here, the first topic into the forum is a whole discussion where they are saying that they are encouraging people to interact with the platform, to make proposals, and to help the protocol to grow and to improve. They are also offering some grants that can go from $1,000 to $30,000 worth of MIR tokens, and here is from 100 and 1,000. It really depends from what kind of improvements people are proposing and are introducing. I decided to show you it because I really like the idea and the project that for real is putting at the center the community, and not just it's not just something to say that yes, we are community based and so on, but they are doing it for real, and this is something that I really appreciated from them. From what we have seen, we can say that the MIR protocol is a really interesting project that if it will be able to continue to grow, I believe that we can see some great stuff by them, because the opportunity to have a real asset tokenized into a blockchain and having the opportunity to integrate them into the whole ecosystem of the DeFi allows us to make many other stuff than just holding something, and it will allow also to build some new yield on top of just the increasing value of the stock. And I'm really curious to see when we will be able to use this kind of asset, collateralizing them to receive some new borrow and so on. And also at the same time, I really like the idea and the way they are communicating. They are for real putting at the center the community, and they are trying to grow organically, starting from the community point of view. Okay, if you have any question about it, just write me into the comment below, and I will be more than happy to answer to you. And I will see you with a next video. I think that I will publish it later, with the whole tutorial, the whole guide of this platform. Thank you guys, and I will see you soon. Bye.